Hey guys, so we're talking about our families and PCOS. As far as family history goes, I don't have any family that is aware or that I was ever made aware of that has PCOS. I'm pretty sure there's probably some women that did, but I don't know that they knew. But I don't think it's something that's been hidden from me or anything like that. I do have a kind of an interesting background as far as my mom's side goes. I don't know much about my dad's side because my grandmother died when I was 10, and my dad had an older sister, but she died when he was in high school, so I obviously never knew her. So I don't really know anything about that side of the family, because there are no other females besides my sister, who she hasn't been checked for PCOS, but I think she needs to be. But she doesn't have insurance, so she's kind of not had the means to do that. On my mom's side, my mom she was told she had a tilted uterus and would, never have kids because that's what they always said. Come to find out, she had 3 of us, so everything's fine there. One of my aunts, I have 2 aunts on that side of my family. The one there, she never had any problems that I'm aware of other than when she was giving birth, just because she has very, very, very small pelvis. She's like stick thin. It's really bizarre. But my mom, I already talked about her. My other aunt, she has endometriosis, and I don't think she ever has periods like she's supposed to. I'm not really so sure. She doesn't have PCOS, but I don't really know. She doesn't seem to have a lot of the physical signs that I've noticed at all. I mean, not, weight gain, anything like that. But she has very severe endometriosis, was never able to conceive a child. As far as I know, she never conceived whatsoever, so she never miscarried or anything. My grandmother, my maternal grandmother, she had no problems getting pregnant. She got pregnant like the drop of a hat. But she did have some type of issue that led to her having a hysterectomy at a very young age. Now, from my understanding is, it was some type of issue that I don't know if it was like an ovary problem or what, but they could have done other surgery and like some type of corrective thing. I don't know if it was what it was exactly, but it was something where it was kind of I think there may have been something else they could have done for her, but for some reason they couldn't afford it or something. I don't remember, but anyway. So, because her husband was a mason and he laid bricks for a living, and that didn't really make a whole lot of money. He had his own company. They had 4 kids. So, anyway, so as far as I know, nobody has it. I think, the only thing I'm aware of is endometriosis. I do think that there was part of my family who had difficulties conceiving farther back, but that's all I'm really aware of. It's pretty vague and nothing that really points to anything that's really probably useful whatsoever. But as far as family being supportive in my PCOS, I have a sister-in-law that has PCOS. Well, my only sister-in-law. She has PCOS, but she's a lot different about her PCOS than I am. She's severely insulin resistant. They're putting her on something obnoxious like 4,000 milligrams of metformin, which is completely insane because my mother, who's a type 2 diabetic, doesn't even take that much. So I don't know. I thought that was, I haven't heard of any women with PCOS taking that amount. I'm sure there are others, but she just doesn't, I don't think she doesn't take care of it like I wish she would. And I think that's what bothers me. Or it doesn't seem like that anyway. I don't know. She doesn't really talk about it. I asked her a few weeks ago a few kind of vague, not very in-depth type questions about her PCOS. But it was just things like if they're doing anything else for her, what tests she's had, and, you know, kind of stuff like that. But nothing too major, just some light conversation. I kind of wish she wanted to talk about it more, but, you know, can't make her. But I just don't think she has the issues with it, like, emotionally that I do, as bad. I know she's had, like, temper issues, which is kind of funny, because, like, we've had our differences over the years, but, you know, we love each other, so, you know, that's not, not gonna change anything. Neither one of us is going anywhere, so, but, you know, we have a lot of similarities. We're about the same weight, although we carry it completely differently. She doesn't take as many medications as I do. I'm not sure she takes a vitamin, but she takes metformin, and I know she's taken, like, some anxiety medications and things over the years, but I'm not taking that. She's not taking the spironolactone or anything like that, that I am. But anyway, so I don't get a lot of support there. I mean, I don't really seek for it there, because I just feel like it's not really there to be had like that, like I would really like it, need it to be. So I don't really go there. My sister, that's been kind of touch and go. She's my sister. She's always been, like, you know, basically like a built-in best friend my whole entire life. We're very close in age. We're 13 months apart. So we've always had like an unusually close relationship as sisters, that compared to like a lot of sisters that I've known, or sibling groups or whatever, that I've ever come across in life. But, I mean, it's kind of hard because I know she's kind of like, she gets frustrated because she doesn't understand where I'm coming from, because not only is PCOS very hard for me to deal with mentally and emotionally, and it takes its toll, and it's frustrating, and you don't feel good, and it makes you act different ways, you know, like have, you know, like anger problems and things that, because my hormones aren't under control, that I normally wouldn't have, you know, to that degree and everything. And it's like, kind of like it's been going on for so long that I think it's expected to be normal, and I'm just a bitch. And that's not even just from her. But, you know, she kind of more or less thinks that, from the way it came off to me anyway, was that, kind of, I make a bigger deal out of it than what it is. And that was obviously very hurtful and hard to hear. And also what I think she forgets about is that I don't just have PCOS. Like, some women just have PCOS. And PCOS, all on its own, very hard and difficult to deal with. You know, some women struggle with it more than others. But, you know, it's not a cakewalk regardless. But I've also had 2 other major surgeries. I've had a vaginal surgery, so as far as like my like, you know, feminine women's health, that's really hard to deal with. Like, mentally, like, that was really hard, because honestly, like, around that time I felt very mutilated and stuff. Not that I didn't care about my doctor. I liked her. She was great, wonderful. But the problem was that it was just hard to deal with. You know, I'm young, I haven't had kids, I don't, you know, and it was for a Bartholin cyst. But the one I had particularly at the time was very severe. So it was very painful. I couldn't hardly walk, like literally. I had to hold my crotch all the time because it hurt so bad. And the stitches were terrible. There's like swelling and irritation just from, you know, normal course of irritating things. So it was extremely, extremely painful. Anyway, aside from that, I also had back surgery, and it seems I had back surgery for herniated disc, severely herniated. I hardly have any disc left there. If something ever did happen to that space, I don't really think I have any more options besides a fusion. The disc above it's not doing too good. So with degenerative disc disease, there's a great chance that I will end up having more back surgery in the future. For about 6 months, I couldn't even walk. So mentally, that obviously took a huge toll. Not being able to walk not only makes you weak, but it also makes you gain weight, which is a lot of what I think perpetuated my PCOS into becoming as evident as it was, and kind of led to me finally being diagnosed. So it's the whole thing of like, I felt alone this whole time because nobody knows what I'm going through. Like, not very many women have Bartholin cysts, and certainly no one I knew did, and a lot of women that do don't even have surgery for it. So, I don't know anybody that's ever had that. Do I know anybody else who, you know, is in their early 20s that had back surgery? No. I have a friend, she's about 30. She has really extreme severe scoliosis. She did have a rod placed in her back. She had a lot of problems with it and had to have it removed. So we do kind of share like a camaraderie over like our back surgery, which I know is kind of fucked up, but a lot of people don't understand where we're coming from about it. And I mean, I guess maybe scoliosis, hers is visibly obvious, so maybe that's a little bit different because people can see it, versus like a lot of the problems I've had, most of them are things you don't see outright. Like, yeah, I couldn't walk and stuff, but like people didn't understand, and a lot of people like thought I was faking, which is pretty fucked up, and I don't know how you fake an MRI, but don't even get me started. But the thing is, just mentally over time, it's taken such a toll because I feel like I can't trust my body, because once I get to where I think I'm good and things are supposed to be better, then it's like, bam, something else happens. So it kind of, you know, knocks me on my ass. But besides that, my mom's been really supportive. She's always been there for me, for everything. At first, when I got diagnosed with PCOS, it was really hard because I don't think she really, like, got the full grasp of everything and, like, really understood it. She didn't really understand how it makes me feel. But through having the issues, like when me and my sister had the one conversation, that really bothered me. So I talked to my mom about it, and I explained to her, like, I think people forget that, like, I've had all these other problems, and all of these have just been since, like, as soon as I turned 18, my body started, like, fell apart. Like, I've had 3 surgeries since then, and I was supposed to have my tonsils taken out, but I couldn't because I had to have the cyst surgery and all type of other stuff. So, I mean, it's just been a zoo, you know. But, you know, my mom's always been there, and she's really come around a lot on the PCOS front, so which I'm really happy about and thankful. But, you know, it is what it is. And I'm thankful to have what I do have. I think in time other people will come around, and if they don't, it'll be okay. I do sometimes think about getting a therapist, but I don't know. I'm not really sure I can afford it, time or money-wise. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I guess that's about it for me. I really apologize. This is so long. I kind of am very spacey today. Forgive me. I feel just as horrible as I look. But anyway, I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll talk to you later.